Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're continuing on with our 5 must-dos at the 4 parks at Walt Disney World. So today we're going to do our top 5 must-dos at Animal Kingdom. Got to admit, I did struggle writing this list. Did you? I don't know, I'm not a big fan of Animal Kingdom. It is my least favourite park, but I put some sort of a list together, and I just want to go out there and say to begin with, we haven't seen Tree Awakening, I think that's what it's called. Is it the light show on the tree, or Rivers of Light, because they weren't around when we last visited, so they're not in our list. But I feel like if I hadn't seen it, or Pandora, yes that's right, anything in Pandora, it's not on our list because we haven't actually seen it. So I guess you could say this is a bit of an old must-dos, but these were our must-dos before those things come around, because I feel like they would probably, some of them would have made my top 5.
Yeah, probably.
If I had done them, but I haven't, therefore couldn't add them to the list. So without further ado, let's go on with our top 5 must-dos at Animal Kingdom. You can start off.
So my number 5 at Animal Kingdom is the Kilimanjaro Safari. So I like this ride, it's obviously my top 5, and it's very cool because you feel like you're in Africa and you're not, but it's just like, it feels like you're on a real safari, as if you were in Africa, and it's cool. And I've done it a few times now. I'm sort of like, I don't know, I guess maybe I'm just not as into like that type of thing, so it's sort of just like, I see animals. Like I go to a zoo, see animals, it's like...
Yeah, this didn't even make my list.
But yeah, that's why it's on the bottom of my list. I guess it's just not the thing that excites me the most about.
Which is funny because I think it's like the main attraction. But like I said, it didn't even make my list because, yeah, it's like seeing animals, but you can see animals at a zoo. Like, I don't see that as being special at Disney, as being able to see all these animals. Yeah. Sure, they're out in the wild, but we have something similar, I think, down south. We have the zoo where you get in a car or even ride a bike around. And obviously they're fenced off, but you can fully ride around where animals are, which is the same sort of concept. But that's why I'm not that fussed with going on that ride. It's just like seeing all the animals you can see at a zoo. The difference is they look like they're in there. I'll say natural African type habitat. So yeah, this one that didn't even make my list, so sorry if people really like that ride. My number 5 was Conservation Station, because we only went to it for the first time, and once again I was like looking at animals, but I got to like pet them and I liked watching them. The goats are funny, they were fighting with each other. It was just funny to watch. So yeah, that made my number 5. I consider that better than the safari, in my opinion. But I just don't like the safari, so yeah. So my number 4 is the Festival of the Lion King. This is my number 4 as well.
Yeah. So it is a really good show. Like the actors and the, I'm guessing, gym dancers, you know, dancers, like they're all amazing. And I love the Lion King. Like the music's obviously amazing because it's the Lion King. So
it's Elton John.
Yeah, so it's definitely a must-see show if you're going to Animal Kingdom.
Completely agree. I think
it's the best show
out of all the shows. I think it's the best show to see. So if you could only see one, I would see Festival of the Lion King. It's also my number 4. We're probably going to see it again because one of my cousins hasn't seen it. So we'll probably see it again when we go back in September, October, but it's a good show, so, and you can sing along to the music because everybody knows the Lion King songs.
And they also have like audience participation, like they get you into it as well, so
yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, it's good. So number 3 for me is Expedition Everest. So I like roller coasters.
It's my number 3 as well.
So that's why it made my, it's not my favourite ride, but I guess it's one of the biggest rides at Animal Kingdom.
Is it like the biggest roller coaster at Disney World, or I feel like it could be one of the most.
I do like that Disney went to, like they traveled to like Peru or whatever. I don't know, where like Everest is, and they actually fully researched it and how it would look, and so like the theming is spot on with that ride, so I do really like it, and it is a fun ride, but it's not on my top. But I would definitely do it every time I go to a park. So,
yeah, completely agree. I've got to do this ride, even though when you get off, it leaves you with that light-headed roller coaster feeling. I guess people would know what I mean. It's not motion sickness because I don't really get sick from it, but you know when you get off a roller coaster and you feel like real, whoa, like you're a bit airy. This roller coaster that does that to me, but I like it. I like this roller coaster. It's fast. I like the surprise in it. I'm not going to say what it is, but most people would know what that is. And you also get a really cool view
of the other parks.
You can see the other parks in the distance,
yeah.
When you stop at one part. But no, it's a really cool roller coaster, and yeah, the theming is amazing. They just completely nailed that. So my number 3 as well, Expedition Everest.
So my number 2.
This is funny because I feel like we're gonna be switched in here.
So my number 2 is Dinosaur. It's just a really fun ride. Like when you go into it, you're sort of like, oh, don't know what this ride's gonna be like. It's probably not gonna be that good. And then you go on it, it's actually really fun. And it's a different sort of ride. Like it's a car ride, but it's very similar to Indiana Jones at Disneyland, and also if you've been to Universal, it's very similar to the Mummy.
It's actually the same. I was watching a YouTube video the other day, because that's what I do, and it's actually, fun fact, it's apparently the same track. Dinosaur is the exact same track as Indiana Jones, and there's been rumors going around that the Dinosaur Land could change to Indiana Jones, so it could easily transition into the Indiana Jones ride because it's the exact same track layout. All they would have to do is change the scenery. So I found that interesting. I hope they don't.
Although I do like the dinosaur theme, yeah.
Indiana Jones was a great ride at Disneyland though, not taking that away. It was an amazing ride, but I like Dinosaur, so.
And yeah, it's a cool, like the story's cool, how you're going back in time, and
yeah.
So yeah, I really like that ride.
Yeah. So my number 2, which is, my number 1 and 2 can switch quite easily. I can easily say that. And so on my last trip in January, this would have been number 2 because it was winter, and first of all it wasn't even open, but I probably wouldn't have gone on it anyway because I didn't want to get wet. So it is Kali River Rapids is my number 2, but like I said, I feel like they could easily switch depending, my 1 and 2 could easily switch depending on the day. Like if it was really hot, I'm probably going to ride Kali River Rapids and it would be my must do for the day. It'd be like the number 1 ride I have to get done. So these could switch, but yeah. Currently my number 2 I'm going to say is Kali River Rapids. It is such a good rapids ride. We haven't been on it since 2012 because it was closed in 2016, but I do remember when we did go on in 2012 we absolutely loved it. But we're really big water ride fans, so if there's a water ride we're guaranteed to ride it unless it's like freezing cold, but yeah, I just love water rides, so that's why I made my number 2.
Yeah, so that's my number 1 because I love water rides. I just love that you can it's sort of like you can experience it with, like when you go on a roller coaster it's just you and someone sitting next to each other, but I don't know if you really fully experience it together. Whereas when you're on rapids, because you're all facing each other and there's, you know, you can get a group of you, even if it's people you don't know, but still, like,
you tend to bond with those people.
You all bond together and it's just fun, everyone has a good time and you laugh and you get wet, which is fun, and yeah, it's a really fun rapid ride, and so that's why I could do it all day. I could just keep going back on that ride.
I feel like we're probably going to when we go back. It's going to be a bit warmer when we go back. So I feel like we might just sit on that ride for a while. Depends if there's a queue. If there's not a queue, maybe we can just keep going around. I don't know.
Yeah. But so that's why that's my number 1.
And so my number 1 is Dinosaur. It's funny because when I first went on it, I was petrified, mainly because I get motion sickness and I didn't know what to expect. And it sort of did leave me feeling like woozy, I guess, like a roller coaster did, but it was so much fun. Like I remember and actually that was a good ride where you just mentioned that most roller coasters you don't really experience it with other people. I feel like Dinosaur we did.
You sort of do,
yeah. You sort of really experience it with the people around you, and it's just such a fun ride. and whenever somebody like films it on YouTube, I always like say along to it when he's always like, "You're not gonna make it." And I'm like, "Oh, it's my favorite part." I just love that ride. So that made my number one, and that, but like I said, it could easily switch with Kali River Rapids. Dinosaur and Kali River Rapids could easily switch around, but then again, I'm not really phased in this park. So if they got rid of any of those rides, okay, maybe Kali River Rapids I'd be upset about.
Yeah.
But if they got rid of any of the other ones, I'd be like, yeah, they're probably gonna bring something better. Whereas in other parks, I'd be devastated if they got rid of some of the rides that I consider must-dos. So, yeah, I don't know. I just don't like this park. I feel like you could probably tell I'm not a big fan of Animal Kingdom.
I like the park. It's a great park and the theming's great, but yeah, it's probably my...
Oh, the theming's great, but it's just
my
like,
least favorite. Like,
it's a zoo.
we only spend probably a day and then we might go back a few more times.
I feel like
part of the day, but it's not the park that we would spend most of our time at because we would rather, there's more to do, I think,
at the other parks
that interests us in the other parks, and so we tend to spend more time there.
Yeah,
and
I'm not that into looking at animals.
Yeah,
going on treks to look at animals.
It is a great park for kids though, like
but it's
very kid friendly.
Yeah, so they're our must-dos at Animal Kingdom. You probably don't agree, you might agree, I don't know. But most of you will probably have Pandora up there if you've visited it. We haven't done Pandora yet. I know one of the rides in Pandora I will not put on my must-do, and that's because it is a fake ride. That's the Banshee ride. I won't be able to go on it. I've heard people feel really sick on it if they get motion sickness, and that's me. But the river ride looks really cool, so I'm excited for that, and I feel like Pandora has definitely made Animal Kingdom more attractive to people. So yeah, I'm really excited to do that. But yeah, these are our must-dos. Let me know in the comments below what your must-do at Animal Kingdom is. Like I said, it's probably going to involve Pandora, maybe Rivers of Light, maybe the Tree Awakening. We haven't done any of those, so couldn't add them in. Or maybe, I know a lot of people love Expedition Everest, like that is their number one. It's a great ride. Not saying it isn't. Maybe my number three. I definitely have to do it when I go. Yeah, I have to do it. But yeah, so be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and keep a lookout for more videos later whenever I upload them. I'm not very good at sticking to a schedule, but you know, they do occur. And of course, soon we'll finally have our vlogs from our holiday, which I'm so excited, and I love it because I get to go on a holiday for 3 weeks, but then I get to relive my holiday for months while I'm editing my vlogs. It's great. I love it. So yeah, keep a lookout for those, and I'll see all you guys later. Bye.
Bye.